quarterbacks. They let some, it's funny to me, they let some really good journalists go, and they keep some
Talking
other folks
heads.
who are kind of questionable. Now, they did get rid of Danny Cannell, and I know a lot of people, especially in these parts, didn't like him. He did the SEC no favors. He was always very pro FSU, and he took his jabs to Alabama and Auburn every chance he got. But, I think he did know college football, and I think he was passionate about it. And that's what I want from my college football analysts, is I want them to have a passion for it. So in a sense, I hate to see him go. In another way, I'm totally okay with it. But going back to the draft for a second, we'll have Kyle Odell, who is a scout for the San Francisco 49ers on. They had maybe the most intriguing draft, if not the best draft, of any team in the NFL this past week. It was phenomenal to watch everything unfold the way it did. The Bears trading up to draft Trubisky, and I know there are a million scenarios where they could have lost Trubisky. I mean, Cleveland could have partnered with some other folks and with their 12th pick and moved up and taken the number 1 and number 2 picks, meaning Myles Garrett and Trubisky. They could have done that. A lot of things could have happened. But the Bears, I'd literally be in hibernation if I were a Bears fan right now. I mean, I can't believe how bad I think that pick was in relation to what they gave up for it. If they think Trubisky was their guy, and you think he's the quarterback of the future, the next Joe Montana, by all means, take him. But you gave away a lot to move up one spot. And meanwhile, San Francisco gets the guy they really wanted in Solomon Thomas, and they also go back to the 34 pick, which they trade up to the number 31 pick because Reuben Foster fell to them. They end up having one of the most incredible drafts, and on top of that, they get Joe Williams, a running back out of Utah, who I can't wait to talk to Kyle about, because this is a kid, a lot of people remember he quit on Utah mid-season, or really towards the beginning of the season, but then he came back, and Andy, he was practically unstoppable in the Pac-12. He had some remarkable games, one against UCLA, for instance, where he just looked like they couldn't lay a hand on him, and so he could be one of the steals of the draft. It was just a lot of fun to watch, and I was very, very proud of the SEC overall.
Yeah, I'd like to know if Kyle and the 49ers feel at all guilty about fleecing the Chicago Bears.
No. Let me tell you something. I've learned something about the NFL. I mean, when you make a trade like this, you almost the San Francisco 49ers actually did this same thing. I just read a great article about this whole thing. And the 49ers, I think it was in 78 or 79, traded 5 picks, including maybe the top pick overall, or at least their number 1 pick, to get a beaten and bruised and old O.J. Simpson.
Oh my!
Pre-murdering O.J. Simpson,
yeah,
but still pretty beaten up. And he came in his first game, he had 120 yards or something, and he did nothing after that. And meanwhile, they gave away all these picks. I mean, you remember San Diego gave away the farm to get Ryan Leaf. And the thing about Trubisky, and I feel sorry for the kid. I mean, look, we can sit up here and kill the Bears, which I think you will do too. But you feel sorry for Trubisky, who went to a Chicago Bulls game the other night and got absolutely booed practically out of the gym. And people are going to blame him, and he did nothing but, when they call his name, he went on stage. It's not his fault.
Oh, no.
And
well, the only way this works out for the Chicago Bears is if he takes them to a Super Bowl, right?
I mean,
is that
quickly,
the only way?
Quickly. Because when you draft a quarterback number 2 in the NFL now, they can say all they want to, because they just got Mike Glennon, who was very good at NC State.
$18 million.
Yeah, and he was very good at NC State, and I liked him a lot. I remember him in high school. He was Under Armour or Army All-American kid. He was a big, high 4-star. But he's a little slight of frame, and he obviously wasn't going to beat out Jameis Winston. But when you're the number 2 pick, you're expected to come in and make some stuff happen. And Trubisky's probably 99% sure going to be behind Mike Glennon now. And Mike Glennon's actually come out and said, what am I supposed to read from this? I just signed this contract, and here I come, and everybody was maybe.
You have no future in Chicago.
Exactly.
That's what you're supposed to read.
And so it's bizarre. I love the behind-the-scenes stuff in the NFL, and for all the people who say football is dying and football is this and the concussions are going to kill it and the yada, 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 the draft, was as passionate a scene as you will see at any game in the NFL this year. Philadelphia showed out. I wanted to give them a standing ovation. There were people everywhere. The weather was perfect. The ratings were spectacular. I think it couldn't have worked out better for the NFL. And now the NFL always finds another way to make money and do something with what seems like a rather innocuous event. Like the draft used to be, they would just have it in an airport waiting room. There'd be people in there smoking and be like, yeah, we'll take Cornelius Bennett, whatever. We'll take Bo Jackson. Who gives a crap? But now it is such an event, and so they've taken it last year. I mean, it's always been in New York. Then they take it to Chicago. Now Philly. They don't know where they're taking it yet. But wouldn't it be so cool if it were in Dallas or Atlanta? I mean, I would love to go. The people, I couldn't believe how many people were there in their team's jerseys. Like in New York, I get it. They're in Radio. I guess they were there in Radio City. I don't know where they were, but
I did not watch it.
Oh, it was fascinating to me. I just loved every minute of it.
I cannot envision a scenario that I would sit down and watch it. Look, I'm a football guy, but this is where I draw the line. I cannot get into it.
I'll tell you, if you ever sat down and watched one, now look. Now that the NFL has divided it into 3 days, first round and then second and third on Friday and then 4 through 7 on Saturday. That Saturday's kind of a hard watch. I'll give you that. But it's not so hard of a watch that if you were near the TV and you looked up and said, okay, Carl Lawson isn't gone, and on the little banner, Mel Kiper's best available, Carl Lawson's number 2 or number 3, and then the Falcons come up, or who's your NFL team? Do you have one?
See, that's the problem.
You don't have one? I don't either. But you know what I like about the NFL is
you're insane. Is what it is.
I know. Now, especially, I've always liked the NFL because I'll be frank, I've bet on games in the past, and so I've always enjoyed the NFL for that because it's probably the most bet upon sport that there is. But now it's more for fantasy football, and with the way Saban has been putting people in the NFL, I've enjoyed watching any game because there's always an Alabama guy I can keep up with. In the past, it used to be, during the Franchione, Shula days, I had to keep my fingers crossed that D'Amico Ryans is going to be on TV. I mean, that's all I had. And now I've got a bunch of guys that I can watch. But, and I don't have I was pulling for Atlanta in the Super Bowl, but I really didn't care. But the draft is just, the NFL is so much bigger than everything. If you didn't read my article today in the Outlook.
Stop what you're doing.
Stop what you're doing.
Get an Outlook.
Pause right now. But I talked about that I was in a bar in Orlando, in the hotel bar, and I go downstairs, pretty big, kind of sportsy themed bar. A lot of people in there, a lot of TVs. The NHL playoffs are going on. The NBA playoffs are going on. And there's some funky golf match, and there's a boxing match. Those 4 things were on their respective TVs. There had to be 30 other TVs. All of them were on the NFL draft. Except, I take that back, there was one of them that was on some, like an Andy Griffith show, and they said that TV's broken. Or we would put it on the draft. It was amazing to me how much bigger the NFL is than everything else.
Oh, that you cannot deny. I fully, totally endorse that. It is a monster, and it's, like you said, as much as people complain about it, Roger Goodell has got to be the most hated commissioner in all of sports, and yet, he makes $40 million and is probably underpaid.
First of all, I agree. He makes $40 million, and I don't think he's underpaid, though. Because this is sort of a self-sustained monster. Yeah. You know what? It'd be hard to screw. How could the NFL? They've tried to screw it up. Roger Goodell, the Ray Rice thing, for instance, the Tom Brady thing, Deflategate. He has tried to mess this up, and you can't do it because it's America's outlet. But I did feel sorry for Goodell. I don't really like him as a commissioner. The owners apparently love him. But I'll say this. He walks out on stage and he gets booed, right? Okay. And he tries to embrace it. That's what they tell you when somebody is making fun of you. You act like it doesn't affect you. But if they keep making fun of you when you've kind of accepted it, then you start wondering, okay, they really don't like me and this is a bad situation. In the second round, late in the first, and I think even in the second round, he was bringing people out like legends. These legends of the game. and they'd say, now Roger Goodell, boo, and whoever the legend was, they'd cheer for him, and then they'd immediately go back to booing. It would really hurt my feelings if an entire city booed me every time I walked out there.
$40 million would make me feel a lot better about it.
Well, that's what I said. For $40 million, you could do it. I'm just saying I would need at least $1 million of it for therapy.
Well, you'd have enough. That's pretty. We're going to go ahead and take our first break. We're going to come back. We'll talk a lot more about the draft and some of the intricacies of it, some of the statistics of it, and kind of some surprising numbers maybe that maybe you've not heard about. But more to come on the Sportz Blitz Live program right after this.
Comfort is our number one concern. Advanced Heat and Air.
Advanced Heating and Air makes your comfort their priority for any season. Advanced Heating and Air is the region's train dealer and an Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer that can save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Advanced Heating and Air maintains the region's best service team, so rely on us to make your comfort our number one concern. Call 234-5052, and we're there for you.
Auburn Opelika has that perfect something for you. From sophisticated chic boutiques to exceptional dining, there's a retailer or restaurant to make your next visit special. Whether it's elegant fine dining or freshly squeezed lemonade, you'll find the perfect fit for every taste and budget. The food's great and the shopping is too, so be sure to check out the wide array of gifts, decor, clothing, and more. For every occasion, Auburn Opelika has what you're looking for. Let's make your next trip memorable. Visit Auburn Opelika.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime at the all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Every new and pre-owned vehicle, just one dime down. Plus credit amnesty. Bring home $350 a week, get up to $30,000 in credit.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime.
10 acres, 1,000 vehicles, just one dime down.
Folks, you've just got to see this place.
The all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Call 800-NEXT-RIDE.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace. Smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control, celebrating our 10th anniversary. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
Ready to put some fun in your life? Whether it's Central or East Alabama, North Alabama, West Georgia, or wherever you're from, Fun Carts of Opelika is your authorized easy-go kart dealer that has no limits on a perfect easy-go kart. Whether it's a fully customized kart or a stock-made kart, we'll deliver it on time and at the best price. Fun Carts gives you the service after the sale, so no matter if it's hunting, tailgating, motorhoming, fleet rental, or just a better way to get around, Fun Carts of Opelika has it and will customize it to your needs. Visit us in Opelika or call us or visit online for the best easy-go carts. Put a little fun in your life with Fun Carts of Opelika.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Bice Motors in Alexander City. Brian and his crew offer the latest lines of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram vehicles, as well as the best used inventory around. Guaranteed lowest price. Bice.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sportz Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you until 9 o'clock. Time for a little true false. True or false? These are very simple. Luke, even you can handle this. Nick Saban signs an extension to 2000 through the 2024 season and gets a $4 million signing bonus. His salary's a little over $7 million a year. Nick Saban will retire as the richest coach in college football history. True or false?
True.
No question.
I mean, no question. I mean,
Now, Harbaugh makes, what, $9 million?
Well, Harbaugh doesn't make as much as Saban now. Saban, this new contract puts Saban on top, which it should have. I mean, honestly, I guess I understand the allure of Jim Harbaugh because he is a little quirky and weird, and kids gravitate towards that. And he's won okay since he has been at Michigan, but he hadn't even played in the Big Ten championship game yet. He certainly hadn't sniffed a national championship.
But if he can take small steps up, then he's got a lot better chance to be
good
there
luck.
for a while.
I mean, he lost 18 seniors, 18 starters, I should say, off this last Michigan team, and they actually had more players drafted in Alabama, 11-10. So, yeah. I mean, we'll see what Michigan can do this year. We'll see how much the great coaching that comes through. Now, he has recruited pretty well, but again, he hadn't recruited as well as Ohio State. He hadn't recruited as well as Alabama.
This not including his Mercedes dealership.
Yeah, well, you know what? Depending on what you believe, those sometimes hadn't been the most lucrative ever. But, yes, I think in terms of what he makes from coaching football, Nick Saban will retire the richest football coach. Now, I say that knowing that what's about to happen is because Saban's going to be here for so long, and I don't necessarily think he'll be there until 2024, first of all. A lot of that's probably for recruiting. But should he be here that long, what you're going to see is if, let's say Alabama beats Auburn again this year, and Auburn goes, I mean, let's throw a number out there. Let's 8-4. They might let Gus go. And what's Auburn? They might. And they're going to have to go find somebody that can beat him. What's LSU going to do if they lose again to Alabama this year and Orgeron just tanks like some people predict? They're going to have to go find somebody, and they're going to have to pay him a boatload of money. So Saban is making other coaches rich.
This is true. And that brings up an interesting point. True or false? Nick Saban will be at Alabama longer than every other SEC coach at their current school. So do you believe anybody right now coaching in the other 13 teams will be there? Now, like I said, let's just assume he stays. He's got his contract for the next 8 years. Do you see anybody else being there for 8 more years?
If you said it was only till 2021, I might still say true. Because I'm trying to think who would be a threat.
You know, the only one that came to my mind?
Dan Mullen?
Actually, Will Muschamp.
Will Muschamp?
I think he's got an opportunity to be at South Carolina for a long time.
Will Muschamp, I think,
just
is
because
always
low expectations.
Well, but South Carolina's expectations have certainly risen in the last few years.
Yeah, but they've been beaten out of them, though, the last couple of years.
Maybe. But I don't buy a lot of Will Muschamp stock. But I would say the two threats would be Dan Mullen and Jim McElwain. Florida's not necessarily a job you leave to go somewhere else to coach. You could make the argument that's kind of what Urban Meyer did.
I think McElwain's there 6 years. 5 more likely.
He's been to 2 SEC title games, and he's been blown out of both of them.
Yeah,
he's been there.
I think it's lack of competition, though.
Yeah, maybe, but again, he has been to 2 more title games than Jim Harbaugh's been to.
Well, Missouri went to 2 SEC title games.
That's true.
Well, anyway. All right, true or false? Oklahoma will leave the Big 12 Conference within 5 years. You know, it's Feinbaum came out and said it, but the American Athletic Conference had 15 players drafted. The Big 12 had 14. I mean, did they want to get out of that conference?
Feinbaum thinks they do, and I do too. I think Oklahoma has made a pretty strategic error here. Now, you could say they haven't because, well, they have been to the playoffs. They have been able to win the conference several times, and the conference is easier. And they're in there right now where Texas is a wounded duck. So that's helped them somewhat. But it has put a bit of a stain on their national reputation. Even though they beat Alabama in the Sugar Bowl, people always put the asterisk, well, that was after Alabama had just lost the kick 6, and so what did they have to play for? And that's a valid argument, I suppose. But Oklahoma can't win enough bowl games that don't matter to make up for losing regular season games that do matter. You can't lose at home to Ohio State the way they did, for instance, this past year, and expect people to take you very seriously. And they can't lose to what? They got beat by Clemson in the playoff game when everybody thought I think they were actually favored to win that game 2 years ago. So it also helped if your quarterback didn't get public intoxication and try to run from police and get caught by those police.
This is true.
So I think Oklahoma will want to get out. Where will they go, though? A lot of the talk wasn't necessarily to the SEC previously. It was to the Pac-12, which makes about zero sense. It makes about as much sense as West Virginia being in the Big 12, I guess.
Yeah.
So eventually, I think we're going to see 4 conferences, and that's kind of where I wish it would go ahead and go and just sort
Think the Big 12 just dissolves?
I think it's going to have to. I mean, you've only got 10. Now, they're going to have a championship game this year.
Yeah.
But they automatically have a rematch. You know, look, if a rematch happens naturally in the SEC championship game, I think we can all live with it. You know, Auburn and Tennessee in 2004 was a rematch. Auburn and South Carolina in 2010 was a rematch. I can live with that. But if the rematch, if you've already played it and like there's no question that you're going to play that team again, something seems unnatural about it, right?
I'm with you.
It doesn't seem organic. I mean, you want the rematch to be something that it was more happenstance than it was this is going to happen. Like we know 2 of the teams that have already played each other are going to play each other again.
This is the problem with 10 teams.
True.
True or false? Joshua Dobbs, drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers, will be a starter in the NFL before Mr. Irrelevant, Chad Kelly.
I'm going to say true, but I'm not a big fan really of either one of these guys heading into the NFL. Chad Kelly, I kind of had waved the white flag on him a long time ago. He just doesn't seem like the kind of guy you want starting for your NFL team. I heard his interview after the draft when he was Mr. Irrelevant, and they talked about his getting into a fight at his brother's high school game. And he said, well, you know, we all did stuff that we're not proud of. Nobody did that. Don't say stuff like that. I mean, you could own it better than that, I think, Andy. And he just seems like the kind of guy who's always going to pass the buck, and you don't want a quarterback who's going to pass the buck. And I just don't think Chad Kelly is going to end up being an NFL starter. Now, Josh Dobbs, I'm not in love with him either, but he's got athleticism, and he's got some other things he can do. He can beat you with his legs. So I feel like he is the kind of guy that is more likely to get a start. Now, I'm excluding preseason games.
Yeah, absolutely. I might argue that Chad Kelly's more athletic than Joshua Dobbs.
Well, I'll tell you what he is smarter.
Well, that's absolutely true.
And Josh Dobbs,
and that ain't even close.
You know,
Aerospace engineer.
I'm going to say true, meaning Josh Dobbs will start because I don't like Chad Kelly. Yeah. He's unlikable unless you're an Ole Miss fan. If you're an Ole Miss fan, you probably love him because he did some nice things for you. But he is he's made himself an unlikable character.
True or false? Commonwealth Stadium in Kentucky is now Kroger Field. Mm-hmm. It's only a matter of time before every SEC team sells the rights to its stadium name.
I'm going to say true, but I'm going to say true, and it's not going to be all at once, I don't think. I think you're going to see people like Alabama and Auburn and LSU probably hold out, and they're going to get the big bucks. Kroger probably got Commonwealth Stadium for some Kroger gift cards. It's not Kroger Rupp Arena, is it?
No.
It's Kroger Commonwealth Stadium. Now, could Kroger get Coleman Coliseum or Auburn Arena? Yeah, they probably could. I mean, you could.
They can have Auburn Arena tomorrow.
Or what is it now?
What?
What is it called something else? Or you tell
Auburn Arena? No.
Okay, whatever they want, they could probably have the. But football wise, and then it becomes one of those situations where is it Anders Bookstore, Pat Dye Field, Jordan-Hare Stadium?
It's like Sanford Field or Hitchcock Field at Sanford Stadium at Plainsman Park.
That's a lot.
And none of those are we getting money for any of them.
Yeah. So, yeah, they might call up Pat Dye. Pat Dye's still alive. They might call him and say, you got to start ponying up.
Maybe so. I don't know. Surely there's some integrity left in these schools.
No, there's literally no integrity left. I mean, I think there's no integrity left. I mean,
clearly.
So, and if there's money's out there to be made, they're going to try and figure out a way to do it.
That's for sure. Finally, true or false, the Golden State Warriors don't need a coach.
False. This is the only false.
Steve Kerr out indefinitely.
Well, I guess I need you to rephrase the question. Do you mean they don't need a coach to beat Utah, or do you mean they don't need a coach to win the championship?
Period.
I think they need a coach to win the championship. Look, in the end, a coach is symbolic as much as anything else, and I've always thought that a team takes on the personality of their coach. I mean, it's seen almost every year. When a coach starts to get a little tense, you can tell the players get tense. When a coach is fiery, the players seem fiery. If the coach seems uncertain, the quarterback seems uncertain. And I think it's the same thing in basketball. I think there is a vibe that is given off. And in basketball, people talking about it all the time, the psychology of it, players are more vulnerable. You don't have a lot of pads. You don't have a helmet. You're not an unknown. I mean, you're out there in some shorts and a muscle shirt for the world to see. And your emotions are on display at all times. And I think you need a strong coach to be in your corner. Now, I'm not saying Steve Kerr is a very strong coach. He has got some serious back issues. So I think maybe for these playoffs, they could be okay. But do I think for next year, could they start out this same way and be easily the number one seed? I don't think so. I think they've got to have a coach. They may have gone far enough in this season, and they've kind of lucked out, I think, getting to play the Jazz. They would have lucked out playing the Clippers too. I think the West outside of Houston doesn't look like they can gun with them.
No.
But
I think the NBA coach probably, and Major League Baseball too for that matter, probably do less or less important than any other major sport. But I agree. They probably need a coach.
Okay, Ty Lue said, being the Cleveland Cavaliers coach is the hardest job in sports.
Try it without LeBron James.
Well, first of all, let me say, he may be right. Because, see, Nick Saban has created his own monster, for instance. If Saban doesn't win the West this next year, forget that. If he doesn't win the SEC this next year, people are going to wonder, well, why'd we give him all that money? Yeah. How quickly they forget. But if Ty Lue didn't have LeBron James, and they were a 500 club, and they went in the first round, and they took somebody 6 games, people would say, okay, Ty Lue's sort of keeping this thing together. But when you have LeBron James, people say, what are you even doing here? Why are you even here? And he's sitting there trying to coach him. So it does make the job tougher. I'm not saying it's the best job in sports. I'm saying it's probably a tough job because who respects Tyronn Lue right now?
Nobody.
I mean, and you should, because he was a gritty NBA player. He's probably a pretty good coach, but we don't know because he's always had LeBron.
That's a good point. That's going to wrap up True or False. When we come back, hopefully, we'll be joined by Kyle Odell, scout for the San Francisco 49ers. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
Has a new address in Alexander City. Main Street Family Urgent Care is now open across from Walmart on Highway 280. From cuts, broken bones, strep throat, and flu, they can help you heal and feel better fast. Open 8 to 8 Monday through Friday, 8 to 6 on Saturday, and 1 to 6 on Sunday.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Wow, your carpets look fantastic.
Yeah, thanks to Peaches and Clean.
They look new again.
They also clean my kitchen tile.
Simply amazing. I'm calling Peaches and Clean today.
Just call 502-5326. Oh yeah, they have an area rug cleaning facility too.
Peaches and Clean is now expanded to the Alexander City Lake Martin Market. Give them a call at 334-502-5326.
Call us up at Peaches and Clean.
Different flavors make the world go around. And now try the flavor of hot honey mustard on the boneless wings meal. Served with crinkle fries, Texas toast, and a 22-ounce drink. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's. Indescribably good.
Get the best seat in the house for every game this football season. Upgrade that old recliner for the comfort of FlexSteel from Holly's Home Furnishings. Stunning styles, incredible comfort, and FlexSteel's signature blue steel construction. At Holly's Home Furnishings, we offer a variety of different fabric and leather options, plus state-of-the-art power recliners. Come in and score big today with Holly's Home Furnishings' unbeatable selection and unbelievable everyday prices. Family-owned and operated Holly's Home Furnishings located in Alexander City and Montgomery.
Heads up, we're going back to 77. Disco, bell-bottoms, and Ford F-Series starts its epic run as the best-selling trucks in America. Fast forward to 2017, F-Series is still king for 40 straight years. How? Rock-solid durability, up to the nanosecond technology, and jaw-dropping capability. No wonder the competition hasn't been number one since these. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 40 straight years.
Bucks Island is one of the oldest boat dealers in Alabama, serving boaters since 1948 with the largest boat showroom in the state. Bass boats featuring Skeeter, cruisers and sport boats featuring Monterey, pontoons featuring Crest, G3 and Voyagers, powered by Mercury and Yamaha. Bucks Island has sold over 10,000 boats and with a full service and parts and accessories department to keep your boat in top condition. Don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote. Visit Bucks Island on Highway 77 in Southside or online at bucksisland.com. Give them a call at 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island, where our number one product is customer satisfaction.
Welcome back into Sportz Blitz Live, and I'll say this right up front. I probably shouldn't idolize people that are 20 years younger than me, but I'm very envious of our next guest. He has a fantastic gig. He's a great guy, Mr. Kyle Odell. Kyle, how you doing?
Hey, man, doing fantastic. How's it going over
there? Doing great, buddy. And, of course, you're a scout for the San Francisco 49ers, and you guys just had, I thought, the best draft in the entire league. You get Solomon Thomas there at the number 3 pick, and you get Reuben Foster at number 31. What was going through your minds when Chicago told you that they want to move up? If Cleveland doesn't select the guy they want, Chicago wants to move up, and they wouldn't tell you who that was. What were you guys thinking?
Well, we knew we had two pretty good options there with Solomon and Reuben. We both valued those guys very highly and are looking to rebuild our defense. So we knew we could have one of those guys, or one would be left if they ended up taking Solomon at 2, which was a possibility. But, they moved up and took Trubisky and went the quarterback route. So left us in a good position to, go ahead and take Solomon there. And then from then on, it was kind of just a wait and see where Reuben went. I don't think anyone in our room really expected it, to ever have a shot at getting him at 31.
There's a great article on the Monday Morning Quarterback site by Peter King, who is in there with you the entire time for this draft. And you want to talk about being in the right place at the right time. How in the world did Peter King know to be with the San Francisco 49ers of all teams?
He kind of has made a craft out of being able to, find where the action is. I think he met with John Lynch down and Kyle Shanahan down at the owners' meetings a couple months ago in Phoenix, and was actually making a good point. I think he referenced that in 1979, the 49ers were coming off a 2-14 season and had a new head coach and Bill Walsh, a new GM, and a 30-year-old owner in his 30s, and it kind of reminded him exactly of how this was going to go. So I thought it would be special to kind of chronicle, John and Kyle's first draft together, and it turned out to be, a very memorable weekend for all of us.
And that's an interesting story in its own right. If you read the Monday Morning Quarterback article, it talks about how San Francisco had actually given up the farm to get a battered and bruised O.J. Simpson late into his years. And so they may have learned a lesson, 40 years ago about doing something like this, giving up the farm just to move up a little bit. And now I think the 49ers may have taught Chicago a lesson.
We'll see, but quarterbacks are a premium in this league, so I don't really think you can put a price on them if you get the right one. So that's another thing just about the draft in general is, you can say certain teams look like they did great here, certain teams look like they did great there or not as good, but, we won't know for 2 or 3 years probably down the road until we know exactly what we got out of this crop. So now it's on our job, our coaching staff to develop these guys and, go make them players for us.
So Reuben Foster had a precipitous drop all the way into the 30s. Nobody predicted that. I mean, this is a guy most people thought was a top 5 talent. He certainly played that way at Alabama, and he seems to have everything you want in a linebacker. But there were some questions. His shoulder, some off-the-field stuff, some stuff in pre-draft. And was that the reason he fell, or was there just not a good fit for him for a lot of these other teams?
You know, I can't speak for the other 31 teams or whatnot, but I think, you know, it might have been a little bit of both from each side. But, you know, I think our doctors, you know, were very thorough with, you know, with Ruben through the process of his medical things and issues and whatnot. And, you know, they don't think that shoulder will require second surgery or anything. And then just as far as, you know, the person, you know, it's easy to get caught up in a lot of like the small things that have happened since with the, you know, the combine issue and the diluted sample and that kind of thing. But, you know, at the end of the day, when Reuben Foster's in your building, you know, he's an infectious personality. You know, he's a guy that comes around and, you know, just elevates the mood of everyone around him. I think he'll elevate the play of others around him. I think he's a very unique personality that you don't see around a lot. So I think that's one thing that really drew us to Reuben more so than turned us away from him. It's who he is.
And I think it's great you guys get Solomon Thomas, a Stanford kid from right there in that area. That's already a home run. And then for you, a guy who's a graduate of the University of Alabama, to get Reuben Foster, a guy you already had a relationship with, that's got to be a phenomenal feeling.
Man, I really can't put it into words. You know, I'll be honest. I mean, I was praying that somehow, some way that we'd be able to get Reuben, like literally praying that he would be able to fall to us some way or another. But you know, once he got past 10 and, you know, 12, I think is when we made our first call to try to move up. And then, you know, we didn't skip a team from 12 to 31. You know, we called every single team, and deals were either teams were staying put, you know, because they had their guys that they wanted coming up, didn't want to pass up an opportunity to get the players they were looking at. And I know that for a fact, you know, that was the Bucks and O.J. Howard were teams that, you know, didn't even entertain a deal. So we're standing pat, we're taking our guy. You know, that happened a lot throughout that round. And then also just, you know, some deals kind of fell apart at the last minute. And so, you know, you're talking 12 to 31 is 2.5, you know, 3 straight hours of trying to get up. And so it's like the momentum kind of built on that the entire way, and you kept falling. And so, you know, you're still thinking you're alive, you got a shot. And then when we were finally able to get in there at 31, it was just kind of, you know, the night reached a climax, and it was just, you know, kind of pure euphoria in there. You know, we were just, you know, so happy to be able to get that kind of player at that value.
And here's the other thing. This is how you know the 49ers maybe had the best draft in the league. Reuben Foster may not even been your biggest steal. To get Joe Williams where you got him, I thought was an incredible coup. This is a guy that I know he had his issues and at Connecticut, and then he transfers to Utah, or ends up at Utah, I should say. And he quits maybe beginning of the season or towards the middle. But then when he comes back, he's an absolute beast at running back. I thought he was great.
Yeah, you know, you're talking about another dynamic talent who, like you said, had some issues early in his career, and, you know, had some personal issues that he dealt with, you know, even into this season. And I think, you know, that's another interesting piece, or part of the piece that Peter King wrote was, you know, we didn't even have him on our board going into the third day. You know, just with the off-field issues, you know, taking a leave of absence from the team. You know, when that's presented to you just on the forefront, you know, John was very honest about it. John Lynch said, you know, that's not a guy we want. But, you know, Kyle Shanahan, he kept growing on Kyle. And, you know, Kyle said, we really need to dig into this guy. And, you know, our running backs, Coach Bobby Turner, you know, John, you know, the other coaching staff, you know, some other pieces on the coaching staff really did their homework, got into who he was, you know, had long, detailed conversations with the guy to where we felt good enough about, you know, this is somebody we want to go get, you know, early as we can on day 3. And luckily enough, we were able to do that.
All right, Kyle, you're in the war room there with San Francisco. Do you guys just have it on like the NFL Network and ESPN, et cetera, and are y'all watching the draft kind of the way everybody else is, or do you know in advance who's picking what? What's the feeling there?
Yeah, you know, we've got both broadcasts up on the projection screens in the draft room, and then also there's a website that, you know, we can all log into, and sometimes we might be a pick or two ahead, you know, not by much, but then you've also got your guys you're communicating with, you know, via telephone who are actually there at the draft, so they're kind of relaying the chatter they're seeing, you know, saying, you know, like for example at pick 10, it says that Buffalo's still on the clock, on TV and on your computers and everything else, but they're saying, Kansas City's, getting up, looks like they're making a deal. So, you've got an advance of things are going on like that before they actually come out or in the public. But other than that, it's watching it and, seeing where these guys go and trying to figure out what the next move is, pick by pick.
So if you saw it on TV then, you got the feeling of how emotional and charged and electric the scenery was in Philadelphia. And next year, I don't think they've announced where the draft will be. Is San Francisco going to make a pitch?
I haven't heard. I know we have a great draft party every year, a couple thousand fans who come out. So, I think it's great how they're doing it. I don't think you can have a better crowd than what Philly had from what it looked like on the television. They were electric all weekend. But, it'd be awesome. I think it's a unique experience for fans to get to go to. So I hope they keep kind of moving around the country and let everyone get a piece of the pie.
Well, I'll be honest, I hadn't been a huge 49er fan my entire life, but now that they've drafted Ruben, I got to start pulling for him, and you're there too, so I'm going to be a 49er at least as long as you two guys are there.
Yeah, well, we'll get your address, send you some gear, get you the starter pack up and running.
I'm all in, man. Kyle, thanks so much for being with us, buddy, and congratulations. You got us at a whale of a draft.
All right, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
That was Kyle Odell, a scout for the San Francisco 49ers, and I can tell you he is absolutely ecstatic with the way things turned out for that ball club, and they're going to be a fun one to watch. They still got to have some more pieces to make the team, I think, really come together, but they've got another great draft coming up next year when the picks they almost stole from Chicago. So we'll get to see what they do next year, and thanks so much for being with us. We'll be back in just a minute with more Sportz Blitz Live.
If you've been putting off that new heating and air unit in your home because of the upfront expenses, Williams Plumbing of Alexander City now has primary financing from Synchrony and can now install brand new heating and cooling systems with zero down, longer terms, and a competitive rate. Call Williams Plumbing at 256-329-8488 and get a free quote and terms and upgrade up to $35,000 in work with approved credit. Williams Plumbing stands behind their work with on-time affordable service for all your heating and air needs, as well as plumbing for zero down financing and great service. Williams Plumbing.
Harbor Point Ship Store has everything to make your day on the lake more enjoyable. Come on out to the biggest marina on the water. They have pizza, hot dogs, burgers, and more. Get your gas, groceries, snacks, ice, and everything you need for a fun day on the lake. Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned boat? Harbor Point has the best selection around of everyone's favorite Crest pontoons and Four Winds boats. Harbor Point also has a great selection of pre-owned boats. Come on out and take a look at Harbor Point, Marina Point Road in Dadeville. Get to the point.
Advantage is defined as a favorable or desirable circumstance or feature, a benefit, and that's just what you'll get with the Gills Auto Sales 5-Star Advantage. Gills Worry-Free Guarantee, a 30-month, 30,000-mile warranty on every vehicle, specialized maintenance from the area's top technicians, and free oil changes with each purchase. Flexible financing to fit any budget or credit situation. Convenience with 6 locations offering quick and easy approvals. And selection, the area's volume leader with over 400 vehicles in stock. There's only one place to get the 5-Star Advantage, and that's only at Gills.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to GoreesFurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here or you can shop us online, only at Goree's Furniture.
Your express way to saving.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace. Smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
It's Truck Month. It's Ram Truck Month at Bice Motors in Alex City. Save over $10,000 off MSRP on select Ram 1500 or 2500.
Trucks, trucks, and more trucks.
Nice price.
Lowest price.
Great looking trucks and great looking discounts.
Buy it at Bice.
Lake Martin's Ram Truck Headquarters.
America's longest lasting trucks.
BiceChryslerDodge.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sportz Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you until 9 o'clock. Time for the Sportz Blitz Players of the Week. And I will start with the Alabama National Guard Lee County Player of the Week. That would be Tanner Gleason from Beauregard High School. The 6'1", 250-pound lineman was an invaluable piece to Beauregard's puzzle in 2016, serving as the team's left guard. He capped his senior season by signing with LaGrange College in Georgia.
The Concrete Talladega County Player of the Week, it should be Players of the Week this time, is Morgan Roberts and Brogan Burrow from Pell City High School. A pair of hat tricks by center forwards Morgan Roberts and Brogan Burrow propelled Pell City to a 10-0 victory over Carver Birmingham in the first round of the 6A soccer playoffs. 10-0. That's
propelled Pell City.
Propelled Pell City.
That is not easy to say.
Peter Piper.
Well done. The Lyman Ward Military Academy AISA Player of the Week, Reed Smith from Autauga Academy. He threw a 3-hit complete game to help the Generals, who were 25-16, reach the state semifinals for a 10th straight year. Now that is consistency.
The Lee Marketing Group Montgomery Area Player of the Week is Kate Dockery from Montgomery Academy. The senior won at number 2 singles during the Class 1A through 3A state tournament and helped the Lady Eagles tennis team win the state championship.
Alabama National Guard Lake Martin Area Player of the Week. And it's, again, plural, Players of the Week. Connor Brooks and Austin Elliott from Benjamin Russell High School. The two baseball standouts recently signed their collegiate letter of intent. Brooks will be headed to Central Alabama Community College, not very far away. And Elliott will continue his career at Pearl River Community College in Mississippi.
The Russell Building Supply and Russell Do-It Center AHSA Radio Network Player of the Week, and also the Luke Robinson Name of the Week, is Zachary Van Alst. Montgomery Catholic School, a 6-time AHSA wrestling champion. He went 67-0 and won the Class 1A through 5A 138-pound state title this season. Van Alst, an Air Force signee, is the 2017 Montgomery Advertiser All-Metro Wrestler of the Year. The National Wrestling Hall of Fame announced him as the Alabama State winner of the Dave Schultz High School Excellent Award, and he's from Montgomery Catholic. That's pretty good.
That's very good.
It's a lot of awards.
That is. And that's going to wrap up the Sports Blitz Players of the Week. We'll be back with more right after this.
It's time to zero in on huge savings at Lynch Nissan of Auburn. 0% financing is back in a big way on many of your favorite Nissan models, but only for a limited time. Buy today and save up to $11,000 off MSRP on remaining 2016s as we make room for the 2017s. Get up to $7,000 off MSRP on the new Altima SL or 0% for 72 months. Just click it and pick it now at lynchnissan.com. Lynch Nissan of Auburn, I-85 at exit 51.
At U.S. Ameribank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, U.S. Ameribank provides something found nowhere else: craft banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the U.S. Ameribank difference. U.S. Ameribank. Banking on values. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
There is a strength inside you, unknown and imperfect, waiting. And when you think you have nothing left to give, when each obstacle in your path is more formidable than the last, that's when you'll find it. And with that strength, your greatness will have no limits.
now is the best time to see the good guys the locals know, Alex City Marine. With last year being our best year yet, Landau Pontoons has increased Alex City Marine's allocation of Landaus for the 17 season. Our Suzuki outboard selections are at an all-time high. Alex City Marine is now also Lake Martin's exclusive Manitou pontoon dealer with a full line of the luxurious Manitou Tri-Tune with patented V-Tune technology for top performance. Get the best selection now of Landau and Manitou pontoons. Alex City Marine, Lake Martin.
Now there's no excuse. Drive a new Hyundai today. Trade and drive this 17 Elantra today, just $49 a month. Trade and drive this 17 Sonata, $99 a month. Or trade and drive this 17 Santa Fe Sport, just $139 per month. At Hyundai of Auburn, deluxe safety, comfort and economy features, no extra charge, and locally built. Lease, finance, and credit options for you. We want your trade, even if you deal someplace else. But why would you? Trade and drive today at Hyundai of Auburn for $49 a month.
Jewelry by Design is Auburn's premier jeweler for over 20 years. Mark and Tammy Nelson invite you to see their unique selection of engagement rings, each crafted to be a one-of-a-kind masterpiece, custom designed with only natural premium diamonds that are never enhanced. Jewelry by Design is also your officially licensed Auburn University jeweler that handcrafts all of their Auburn jewelry, as unique as your passion for the Auburn Tigers. For jewelry that's crafted to your style, visit Jewelry by Design on Dean Road in Auburn or online at jewelrybydesignauburn.com. This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Satterfield on Highway 280 in Alex City. Satterfield is the Lake Martin area's Big Green Egg and Accessories headquarters.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sportz Blitz Live. Andy Graham and Luke Robinson here with you until 9 o'clock. We're going to go to the phone line and welcome in another special guest this evening, former Daphne head coach Glenn Vickery. Coach, pretty exciting, pretty incredible thing about some related to the NFL draft. But first of all, for those that are not familiar in our viewing audience, can you just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I started coaching in 1975, so I've been around a long time, and I retired probably January of 16, a little over a year ago. And my background, I played professional baseball and had to be very good friends with a guy named Gary Carter. We stayed in touch through the years, and people ask me, how do you stay calm on the sideline? I really think it's a hereditary one, but I think playing in, professional baseball, 9-inning games and 162 games a year, so you sort of develop the attitude that you got to go out and get forward bats tomorrow, so no use to shoot yourself in the foot. I've been fortunate to be a jack of all trades, a master of none. I've been a 6A coach, and I was a head basketball coach at Daphne. My first reign with Coach Sav. I was a head baseball coach at Davidson, and I've been a head football coach at Davidson and at Daphne. So I've had the honor of being a 6A coach in all three sports. And my generation, you sort of played them all, and you loved them all, and you were glad to coach them all. And you didn't. There was really no specializing as players or as coaches. And so that's really my background. I've just always loved kids. I've loved kids, and probably more than I love coaching. That's always been a big part of my life, trying to give back. My high school coach, Ben Glover, and another guy named Bill Bacon, which got Enterprise off the ground, gave back to me. They showed me how you could be a Christian and be tough, and like Jesus, flip a few tables, and but do it the right way and not sin. And I certainly sinned, but it was trying to create kids to become good. Our word of the day was solid citizens, and that certainly is what I've tried to do over my 40 years of coaching.
Well, Coach, I've always said that the best coaches are the most passionate coaches. You obviously have a lot of passion for all the sports that you have coached. And one other thing you've got to have is a lot of pride right now, because 5 of your former players from that 2010 state championship Daphne team are now playing in the NFL. That's got to give you a great feeling of accomplishment, knowing that you had a big part in their careers.
Yeah, it's very rewarding, and we'll focus on those guys. But I got guys all over in the Army and wherever. But I think that it is it's a very prideful thing. And really, when you're living through it and you see, how those guys worked, and you see where they came from, and people ask me what they have in common, and for the most part, sports was very important to them, and it is a lot of pride because I know the hardships, and I know I don't know how hard they worked in college. I wasn't with them every day, but I can only imagine, the proud moment of Tor McGaster graduating from Vanderbilt, and all those things that go into to making it through college and staying eligible and getting your degree. Ryan graduated in January of last year, and it is a very special time for for Daphne area, and especially for me. I'm just so happy and proud of those guys that I'm not the kind that beat myself in the chest a lot, but I did do it a few times today.
All right, I'm going to ask you this, and I know you're going to have to be politically correct about it. Was that 2010 Daphne team the best team in Alabama State history?
That is a great question, and I grew up down here, and I remember the Viger team that was mythical national champions, and don't get me wrong, they were good, and I don't know how you compare, the generations of team. I know it was a darn good team, and and not counting those, not counting those five guys. We have one receiver who went to Southern Illinois, one that went to Pittsburgh, two more off offense that played, offensive linemen that signed with Louisiana Lafayette. We had four on defense that played. Zach Houston. Talk about prideful moments, guys. One of my most prideful moments. I was not going to 8A game. I was going to my grandson's birthday, and my wife talked me into going. So we better go. So we rode up and 8A game and parked at one of our former cheerleaders' apartment and walked a few blocks. And lo and behold, end of the game, Ryan Anderson, T.J. Yelding, and a walk-on named Zach Houston was voted, post-game honors at the 8A game. And that was a very prideful moment, three from the same school in Alabama's 8A game. And I think a feat that never be broken, T.J. Yelding was the MVP of 8A for 3 years. I don't think that'll ever change either. But, I'm not trying to skip your question. I was a proponent of Viger being mythical national champions. But when you look at the Daphne team that year, we really peaked. And it was, we had a touchdown call back against Hoover, and should have had another one. Poor coaching on my part. But if there was a better team, I don't want to play them. I'll be honest with you. And I'm not an expert on comparing. And I see some of the media; they'll compare them. And some of those teams we didn't get a chance to play. And I'll tell you this: there wasn't many people calling that year that wanted to play us. And in the playoffs that year, we beat a good Foley team, we beat a good Blunt team. Wetumpka just beat a good Prattville team. Hoover had won 21 straight, and I know the Birmingham News was, putting it out there, maybe the best Hoover team ever. So, I don't want to sound like, I think sometimes if you say it was the best team ever, I'm not trying to toot my horn. I'm retired. I don't have a dog in the hunt, but to say it wasn't one of the best, then it's usually from somebody who doesn't know a lot about football. And, like I said, I wouldn't want to be an opponent. You asked the 5 playoff teams, I don't think they would want to play that Daphne team again. And those are 7A schools.
Coach, it's okay to give bulletin board material when you're not coaching anymore.
That's true. That's true. I can lay it out there. But, again, that team really got hot offensively. And one thing to remember, guys, T.J. Yelding was not our leading rusher. We had a running back named Tyrell Holloway that could outrun T.J. And T.J., of course, was very versatile. He was a good running back. We used him in the Wildcat. That's how we scored our touchdown. He played some slot receiver. The following summer, that T.J. and Ryan and that bunch was the first team to go undefeated in Hoover 7-on-7. And the summer that we won it, we actually knew we were going to be good offensively. You can't tell defensively on 7-on-7, but offensively, we knew we were going to be able to score some points. And that was the summer that Ryan and Jameis Winston had a knockdown drag out in Foley on 7-on-7. But we knew that we were going to be good offensively if our linemen develop the way we hoped, and we did. And it was a very special team. They started playing well together, and those 5 guys, there's all kind of leaders, but I think it's important that what leaders do is they rise the level of competition at practice. And you're around Ryan Anderson in practice, and you're going to practice hard, and that's what true leaders do. They cause others to practice and play better. And so, I'm prejudiced. You got to throw the high card and low card out, but I got to say, if it's not the best team that's ever played here, it's got to be one of the best.
Well, Coach, we're talking about these 5 players. I mean, obviously, a lot more players on that team, but Eric Lee, Michael Pierce, T.J. Yeldon, Ryan Anderson, Torrin McGaster, you yourself, fortunate enough to be able to play sports professionally. You got these guys in high school. Is there a moment when you see these guys in high school and you say, that guy is going to play professional sports?
Yeah, and that's a great question. And you see those guys in middle school, and they're going to make it, and if they stay healthy and grow. I mean, because there's some kids. I've had kids, of course, I coach girls sports too, and they usually peak out in the 9th grade or 10th grade. But I've had some boys to peak out in the 10th grade and didn't get a lot taller. And now everything in college is about height. And I got a recruiter coming in. He's a 6'5" guy from South Carolina. He's a coach, and he said, I take a picture with these guys that they're not as tall as me. And he was 6'5". We don't recruit him as a tackle. Well, what you worry about, when you saw T.J. Yeldon in middle school, you knew that he was going to be a heck of a player. But then you get him in the high school, and we know what high school is. High school can draw you in a lot of different ways, and I think that's the scary part. When you're that kind of athlete and everybody's got their attention on you, and you've been recruited, and T.J. and Ryan were heavily recruited, and the other guys were recruited. So is that going to change how they practice, how they play, how they lift weights? And so that's the part you're sort of concerned about, to keep their head on straight. And these 5 guys we're talking about, all of them kept their head on straight. I mean, they never wavered. And I think the big part of these 5 guys that football was important to them. And it was something that meant a lot to them. And I think that's where when people ask me those questions, I think you saw it in their eyes that they were the determination to make it in college. And those 5 guys, had a dream of playing in the NFL. Did I see it coming? I'd be a liar to say, yeah, 100%. But you knew that body-wise they had a chance.
Well, Coach Glenn Vickery, we really appreciate you joining us this evening. Hope that you have a long and illustrious career in your administrative duties from now on.
Yeah, I'm taking orders now, boys, so y'all pray for me here.
No doubt about it. Thanks again, okay? You have a great rest of the week.
Thank you, Coach.
Anytime, guys. Thank you, guys.
Up against the break here, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Sportz Blitz Live right after these messages.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
At U.S. AmeriBank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, U.S. AmeriBank provides something found nowhere else: craft banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the U.S. AmeriBank difference. U.S. AmeriBank, banking on values. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control company for a generation, and now we're proud to announce our new name, EnviroCare. You can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs, and EnviroCare's exclusive Centricon termite colony elimination system that provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. The EnviroCare Centricon termite protection protects your home year-round. Call the professionals of EnviroCare throughout Central East Alabama. Call for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
Jackson Refrigeration is Central East Alabama's Alabama Power's superior solutions dealer. With rapid response time and on-budget pricing, we're Central East Alabama's and the area's authorized Goodman Heating and Air dealer. We make your peace of mind easy and give you peace of mind when it comes to your heating and air needs. As a superior solutions dealer, Jackson Refrigeration can help save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Jackson Refrigeration works on all existing brands and units and has the team to solve your heating and cooling needs, no matter the season.
In a world that's ever-changing, you have to be sure that your choices are the right choices. At Central Alabama Community College, you'll know you made the best choice. Whether choosing a technical degree program, taking courses to transfer to a four-year college or university, or being a part of our national championship winning traditions, get a sharper focus on your life by choosing one of our 3 convenient locations: Alex City, Childersburg, and Talladega. Central Alabama Community College. Central to you, central to your success.
Ask what makes it the best 3 Series ever, and we'll tell you it has more advanced suspension and steering, or even more control of the road. And it's near perfectly balanced to put performance first. But ask if we're aware the competition mimics us just to keep up? No comment. The BMW 3 Series.
Visit BMW of Columbus on Whittlesey Boulevard or shop bmwofcolumbus.com.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Alex City Marine, the Lake Martin area's premier new and used boat and motor dealership. Find out more at alexcitymarine.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sportz Blitz Live. We were talking during the break about maybe best fits for Auburn and Alabama players. 10 players taken from Alabama, 4 players taken from Auburn University. So you mentioned maybe the best fit, O.J. Howard at Tampa Bay.
Well, you look at it this way, and I think when we talk about O.J. Howard, I think we also have to assume Tampa's going to tap into this potential. I mean, we have seen what O.J. Howard can do in certain games, but look, he didn't do that all the time at Alabama. Granted, he didn't have to. The thing about O.J.'s career at Alabama, many a time, Alabama was up so big, they didn't need him to do any pass catching. In fact, none of the receivers. And when you play on a team with Amari Cooper and Calvin Ridley and Ardarius Stewart, these are all guys that went highly in the draft themselves, you're probably not going to be targeted quite as much. So, and then you've got running backs like Eddie Lacy and TJ Yeldon and, Derrick Henry. I mean, you're not going to get the ball probably as often. If O.J. Howard were on some other team, he probably would have been targeted 5 to 8 times per contest. But I do think this is a great fit for him. You think about the weapons that Tampa Bay has now, especially Mike Evans, and then you add in O.J. Howard in that group. I think that's a phenomenal fit. I also like where Marlon Humphrey and Tim Williams wound up. I think Baltimore is a great place for them. I thought it was kind of weird and maybe just a stroke of good luck for Jonathan Allen. Jonathan Allen gets to go home to the Virginia area. He gets to play in D.C. That's probably his closest pro team growing up. And then he also gets Ryan Anderson to come there with him. That's a really good fit as well. So 4 Alabama players drafted by Baltimore and D.C., 2 teams that are very close to one another. I thought that was quite interesting too. So, and 2 teams that are going to get a lot of play next year. All of them had great fits. And Ardarius Stewart, I don't know if New York's a great fit for him. I don't know what they're going to do.
Jets haven't been a great fit for anybody.
That's right, and their quarterback situation is so bungled right now. I worry a little bit about them. He's a real fiery guy. I think the New York fan, if they get him the ball, if he has the chance to succeed. I think the Jets fans will fall in love with him. But I don't know that they're going to be able to get him the ball. And if that's the case, I wonder how frustrated he's going to get. I mean, Ardears can run hot and cold. I'll tell you this. From the days when I watched him play in the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game, and if I remember correctly, he played safety in that ball game, I never thought he'd be drafted as a wide receiver in the NFL. And lo and behold, he gets drafted, and he's going to one of the more high-profile teams in the NFL, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
What about you with the Auburn guys?
I think Green Bay is probably a good place for Montravius Adams. I don't know. I don't know much about the Packers situation right now, but in the NFL, a defensive tackle, if you produce, you're on the field. You're going to play.
I think the thing with Montravius is going to be wherever he went, they're going to have to be able to motivate him. I think that was his biggest problem at Auburn. He wasn't motivated every play, and I think that's why he fell.
He was motivated as a senior. I think that changed his senior year. I think he seemed to. I don't know if it was Will Muschamp maybe his junior year, but that got in his head. But I think that got better. But certainly, it doesn't erase the first 2 or 3, 2.5 years of his career. Carl Lawson. That's probably. I think he was surprised. I was a little surprised, not a lot surprised that he fell as far as he did 4th round. But I think he could end up being a steal if he's healthy. That's a big. Well, that's an enormous if.
In that vein, I think the Bengals took a lot of chances.
Yeah.
They took Carl Lawson.
But they're
also took Joe Mixon.
They're 4-3, so.
And I'll tell you what, though, if I'm going to take Joe Mixon, I want to take a guy like Carl Lawson to go with him, because Carl Lawson, look.
He is a good citizen.
He is a good guy. Alabama fan aside, Carl Lawson is a good guy. He's a team guy. I think he's a good locker room guy. He's built like an Adonis. He didn't always play that way. He had some injury issues, but his problems aren't the same as Joe Mixon's problems. They're almost, in that sense, they're polar opposite. I think athletically, they're very, very similar. Joe Mixon probably, they say, would have been the first running back off the board if he had not had his incident. But I personally wouldn't have drafted him. But the Bengals, they like to take chances on guys. They still got Pac-Man Jones on the team, I believe.
I was just glad to see Josh Holsey, another good guy, and a guy that suffered through 2, catastrophic knee injuries, and able to come back and get drafted like that. I don't care. I'm sure he doesn't care where he went, just to be able to be there. And I think Rudy Ford, he's one of those guys I think could be better in the NFL than he was in college. He was playing nickel and safety more often. They're looking at him at cornerback in the NFL. I think he's big enough, and I know he's fast enough to play that position. So, he may end up being the most productive guy out of those 4. I think he could be.
All right, you're not the biggest draft guy in the world, I know.
I'm not even close.
But have you looked at any of the potential 2008 drafts? That's one of my favorite things to do. Just like signing day, right after signing day, I'm looking at, all right, what's next year, baby? I'm looking
at you some medication.
I know. Look, I need medication for a lot of things. My draft addiction is not one of them. But I've already looked at 2018, and I've seen some drafts that actually have Jarrett Stidham going in the 1st round.
Knowing Auburn's luck, that'll happen.
Well, look, I'll say this. That wouldn't so much be knowing Auburn's luck.
If he'll be gone.
Well, then, would you take that right now?
It's the roller coaster that is Auburn football.
That's true. I think Auburn fans would take that,
of course
a Cam Newton situation. But I just thought it was a little odd, and it's so funny because that draft board is going to change so much. I remember looking at there's a Walter Camp Football, I believe it is, they do drafts. They project drafts 3-4 years down the line. And when I want to say in 2000, and when did Auburn sign Lee Zimba? Was that 2010, 2009?
He was a freshman.
Okay, he was a freshman on that 210? Okay. Well, whenever he was signed, I looked at Walter Camp's projections. For his junior year, he was projected as the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. So the board will change a lot. And, if Stidham comes out and lights the world on fire, he'll be a hot commodity. If he doesn't, obviously he won't be. But there's some guys that you've seen enough of that like Josh Rosen. I think we can all say Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is universally right now considered the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. but it's like Colin Cowherd said today, it's basically because of the one throw against Penn State in the Rose Bowl this year where he split a few defenders with just a bullet and it went for a touchdown. So we've got a long way to go, but I found it very interesting, and I've already seen as many as 5 Alabama guys projected in the first round again. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I think the draft is great, and we're very fortunate to have Kyle Odell on earlier, and then to have Coach Vickery on, who has now 5 guys from the 2010 Daphne Championship team playing in the NFL. Can you imagine? I remember being at that Hoover game. And it was 7-6. And
if they don't win that,
I mean, these guys are all still in the NFL.
How in the world did you not win that?
Exactly. I mean, yeah. Really, the first thing I thought was, how'd you only win by 1 point? But and you could see he covered his tracks a little in there. He said we scored one, it was called back, and we should have scored another one, but that was bad coaching, and that's what good coaches always say. But congratulations to him. And again, I love the draft. I could talk about it all day long, and it's so funny to me that still here we are now, Tuesday, and I was listening to sports talk practically all day. Everybody's still talking about it. I mean, nobody's talking baseball.
There's nothing else to talk about.
Well, I mean, but there's NBA playoffs.
Again,
and
there's nothing else to talk about.
There have been some intriguing storylines. Steve Kerr's absence, the whole deal with Isaiah Thomas and his sister. The Boston had to come back from a 17-point first quarter deficit the other day, and they ended up winning maybe by close to double digits. Yeah. So, I mean, that's been pretty intriguing. So, I mean, there's some good. The Clippers collapse. There have been some good stories in the NBA.
The Clippers always collapse.
Yeah, but I think that, look, they thought they collapsed, and then they go to Utah and win, and then they come back to LA and they blow it again.
Brutal. Yeah.
It's pretty unbelievable. And then Houston's improbable blowout of San Antonio last night, where it looked like San Antonio was 3 steps behind them. There's plenty to talk about, but the draft is killing it all.
Well, we'll
get on board, man.
Yeah, maybe I will. I doubt it. Up against another break here, but don't go anywhere. More Sportz Blitz Live right after this.
Purchasing a new home is easier than you think, and America's Home Place can show you the way. For over 41 years, we've built thousands of homes for people just like you. We guide you through the entire process, from purchasing a lot, finding financial options, to putting the finishing touches on your beautiful new house. Come tour our showroom and see over 100 customizable floor plans. Visit us online at americashomeplace.com/TV for a free floor plan book. America's Home Place. We make building easy.
Now is the best time to see the good guys the locals know, Alex City Marine. With last year being our best year yet, Landau Pontoons has increased Alex City Marine's allocation of Landaus for the 17 season. Our Suzuki outboard selections are at an all-time high. Alex City Marine is now also Lake Martin's exclusive Manitou pontoon dealer, with a full line of the luxurious Manitou Tri-Tune with patented V-Tune technology for top performance. Get the best selection now of Landau and Manitou pontoons. Alex City Marine, Lake Martin.
Whether it's a dream house or corporate real estate, Concrete has the skill, expertise, and talent to exceed your expectations. Trust Concrete to build a foundation for your future. Our work ethic and dedication are always in keeping the competition on their toes. We specialize in residential and commercial development in the Coosa, Talladega, and Shelby County areas. Call us today for your next project, 256-245-4211, or check us out on the web at con-crete.com.
The heart of rock and roll is still beating. Huey Lewis and the News, live and still rockin' in concert. June 13th, 7:30, Montgomery Performing Arts Center. Truly one of America's great rock and roll bands. Reserve seat tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com and MPAC Box Office, 334-481-5100. Produced by MPAC. Huey Lewis and the News.
It's Truck Month.
It's Ram Truck Month at Bice Motors in Alex City. Save over $10,000 off MSRP on select Ram 1500 or 2500.
Trucks, and more trucks.
Nice price.
Lowest price.
Great looking trucks and great looking discounts.
Buy it at Bice.
Blake Martin's Ram Truck Headquarters.
America's longest lasting trucks.
BuyChryslerDodge.com.
And I know when I need it, I can count on you. Like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh.
You can count on the caring team at Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation. Our services include physical, speech, and occupational therapy. Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation, 256-329-9061.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Russell Do-It Center, offering a complete assortment of lumber, building materials, electrical, and plumbing supplies. Russell Do-It Center stores deliver first-class service, top-rate products, and competitive do-it-best pricing.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sportz Blitz Live. We're going to go to the phone line and welcome in another guest, impromptu, Mr. Justin Mosley.
Hey, Justin, what's going on?
Hey, guys, how are y'all?
Doing well. How about you?
Doing great. I know y'all are about ready to move on from the NFL draft. But,
I'm not.
I had a couple more things I wanted to talk about.
By all means.
I know, last year Alabama, the state of Alabama, now former high school players, there were 10 drafted last year. This year in Alabama, there were 9 former high school players, and for a state our size, that's pretty impressive to have those kind of numbers again.
Especially considering 0 from the state of Florida in the first round.
In the first round, yeah.
Yeah. In the first, I think there were 6 former high school players from Alabama in the first 50 picks or something like that. Coach Vick, who you had on earlier, if a lot of people out there don't know, but I played for Coach Vickery in high school, and the level of coaching in the state of Alabama. Of course, these guys have to be physically gifted and tremendous athletes. But I saw an article today where Ryan Anderson was talking about how playing for Coach Vickery at Daphne prepared him for Alabama, and the coaches in this state just don't get the amount of credit that they deserve either for putting out the numbers in the NFL draft.
Hey, Justin, I'll say this again. I've said it on this program many a time. I've never been more intimidated by a player interviewing them at the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game than I was by Ryan Anderson. Ryan Anderson, his mindset from the moment he came on the field was, I'm going to hit somebody, and if you're in front of me, you're going to be it. So I tried to stand to the side as I interviewed him.
Yeah, he's a pretty tough-looking guy, and a great interview too. I think last year that quote that he had about asking if he was or if he considered skipping the bowl game, and the whole Birmingham Biscuit Bowl line that made the rounds pretty well. Anyways, I know everybody doesn't really get to see what a lot of us get to see, especially at the AHSAA state championship games. The level of work that the coaches do to get those guys ready to make that move to college and then on to the NFL.
No, that's absolutely right. And Coach Vickery certainly put in the work, and he had the passion and the drive, and his main focus was making better people out of these kids, and I think he succeeded by all accounts. And he also made some champions, and 5 guys from one team playing in the NFL is an absolutely phenomenal feat.
Yeah, and those of us who are professional insurance salesmen now, we still get to carry over some of those lessons that we learned 20 years ago, and use some of that just motivation and staying busy and working hard. Some great lessons we learned back then. But I appreciate y'all's time, guys.
Coach Vickery brought up a lot of players that he was very proud of. I don't remember hearing your name.
Well, I was waiting on a plug from y'all.
Okay.
I guess,
Maybe it was just understood.
Yeah, it probably was.
It was a silent pride, very silent pride.
That's right.
Thank you, Justin.
All right, thank y'all. Have a good night.
Up against another break here. We'll come back and we'll have a couple more segments and then have Scott Hardy doing an interview to round out the show. Don't go anywhere. More Sports Call right after this.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization. Wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat. Full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma. All with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
Lakeside Marina and Watercraft Rentals have spring fever and are happy to announce that Bennington is back. Lakeside Marina at Blue Creek is now Lake Martin's Bennington pontoon dealer with all models of Bennington pontoons that deliver speed, power, and stability with their elliptical sport packages and best-in-class styling and luxury. See the full line now for best selection as well as the all-new personal watercraft from Kawasaki. Lakeside Marina at Blue Creek, #1 for a reason. Lakeside Marina is also your authorized Easy Go kart dealer for Lake Martin.
Got your eye on a new Nissan? It's time to zero in on huge savings at Lynch Nissan of Auburn. 0% financing is back in a big way on many of your favorite Nissan models, but only for a limited time. Buy today and save up to $11,000 off MSRP on remaining 2016s as we make room for the 2017s. Get up to $5,000 off MSRP on the new Rogue SL or 0% for 72 months. Just click it and pick it now at lynchnissan.com. Lynch Nissan of Auburn, I-85 at exit 51.
Hi.
We're looking for insurance.
Let's see who's free.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a Trusted Choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
Did your team just win the big game? Are you looking for a unique way to honor a valuable employee? Lila's Engraving has you covered, offering a large selection of custom trophies and plaques. Lila's also offers cast aluminum car tags, custom engraved wine glasses, clocks, and wood cutting boards. They even offer custom framing for any art or picture as well. Lila's combines the best quality items with the fastest service around. With over 27 years of experience in the Alexander City and Lake Martin areas, Lila's Engraving is your only choice for custom awards and engraved gifts. Always remember, winners choose Lila's.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control, celebrating our 10th anniversary. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Glenn Smith Automotive, carrying a full line of vehicle brands from Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and Toyota. Highway 280 in Sylacauga and Columbus Parkway in Opelika. Glenn Smith, get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sportz Blitz Live. I'm Andy, and he is Luke. I'm telling you, that I always normally, when I say something, when I say sports call or something, it always triggers. I know, but I had no clue.
You just said I say sports call.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. When I miss and I say something like sports call, it triggers, and I always know it. That time I had absolutely no clue. I'm getting old. You know, if we had time, I'll say.
You could have said, "Come back for the Golden Girls." I guess it could have been worse.
If we had time, I'd go into my grievances. But
we don't have time for airing of grievances.
no, I'm afraid not. But I'm gonna
Fast and
tell you
Furious
something.
rant.
Wow, I got one for the.
What's it about?
I found a white nose hair.
Look, that's an airing of grievances for just you at your house. That's not airing grievances.
That is a major grievance on nature. Nature is just wrong in so many ways. What's the word?
Yours, right? At least it was yours.
It was mine. It was attached. What's the word for hitting a game-tying home run only to be called out because you missed home plate? This happened in the Alabama-Ole Miss softball game. Alabama's scuffling right now. They lost 2 of 3 to Tennessee, lost 2 to Washington, have now lost 2 of 3 to Ole Miss. So, really, they need a big series against Auburn this week.
They sure do. I mean, where else do you go besides embarrassing? I mean, look, I'll say this, though. Apparently, and I've seen just a clip of what happened. Apparently, she did miss the plate, but they had already changed the balls out. And I don't know that you can go back and change that. I mean, if you've already called a kickoff, let's say you've scored a touchdown, but it wasn't really a touchdown, but you've already kicked the extra point and you're about to kick off, you don't get to say, whoa, we got to take that back. I mean, people make mistakes in games. It's not going to be a perfect game. And I think the move was stupid and I don't like the jumping on home plate, if you're not going to land on home plate, then once it's over and you've already changed the balls out, saying, okay, we're about.
You can't.
I think you can't go back and say no.
She may be out technically because she left the area of home plate, and I mean that may be rendered it's like leaving the base path, But you can't tag her with a new ball put in play.
Once the mistake is made and it's done, I think it's done. Yeah. I mean, I think you've already made the mistake. But anyway, look, yes, I think she deserved to be out just for doing that. They actually got on Around the Horn, the ESPN show this afternoon.
Really?
That's got to be the first time softball's ever been on Around the Horn.
What's the word for a 13-game SEC losing streak?
Really embarrassing. That's 2 words. I'm hyphenating. It's Alabama's baseball. You asked me a couple of weeks ago, would it get so bad that they would fire Goff? And I said no. I might be changing my mind. This has gotten so bad so quickly. It's really just, it's unwatchable, unlistenable. I'm sure there's somebody out there who loves Alabama baseball and they'll tell me all the reasons I'm wrong and why there's so much promise. But it's hard to go on a 13-game losing streak in baseball. I don't care how bad you are. It is very difficult to do. Baseball is a 0.667 percentage game. You win 2 out of 3. Everybody wins 2 out of 3. That's how it goes. Or you lose 2 out of 3. That's just how baseball works. It's one of those sports where you don't have these huge streaks because somebody's going to have an off game. You're going to play somebody's bad pitcher and you're going to have your good pitcher and the rotation is going to work out. Well, apparently Alabama's got no good pitchers or hitters. And I mean, how did it get this bad? And look, Coach Vickery brought it up that baseball is a bit of a grind, especially in the major leagues, 162 ball games. And so that's how you learn to keep his calm because you can't lose your temper every game or you'll go insane. But if Coach Vickery ever had a 13-game losing streak, I bet you he would have lost his temper somewhere in there.
Probably so. What's the word for flushing your buddy's ashes, who was a plumber, by the way, down the toilet at various ballparks across America? Has done it in 16 ballparks up to this point.
I'm going to say committed to your friend, and
committed
you
to
need
Bryce's
to be committed.
Yeah.
It is very strange. And here's the thing. If a friend of mine asked me to do it, I'd probably tell him I'd do it and then just not do it. I mean, right? What are they going to know? Because they're not going to tell a bunch of people, I've asked somebody to do this for me, right?
Yeah. I mean, carrying around your buddy's ashes in a little plastic bottle wherever you go. I mean.
Well, and here's the other thing. What do you do with the bottle? I mean,
I think he dumps them out a little at a time.
Okay, you dump them out a little at a time, but even if you do that, there's still some. I mean, you can kill a Coke Zero, but when you put that bottle back down, you can still see little drops of Coke Zero. You've left some in there.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be some of him left in that bottle. Do you just throw away the bottle?
Maybe he wants to take it with him.
Maybe the friend didn't even ask it. Maybe he just said, that's what I'm going to do.
Ooh. Yeah, that one is, I didn't even know. I put that on there because you could go a
strange.
lot of different ways with that one. Flushing your buddy's ashes down the toilet. They were good friends, childhood friends. Went to a lot of baseball games.
I assume
And
you
he was
just
a
flush it.
plumber.
You just flush it like this.
It's got to be during the game. While the game is being played.
There are a lot cleaner places on earth than a Major League ballpark's bathroom during a game.
Yeah.
Now, before the game, I mean, it's probably okay.
What if you're at a trough? And I mean, this guy's over. Do you look to your
Do
left?
they have troughs anymore? I know that they
Surely
do.
they do.
In Hattiesburg, I know they do. Because we went to the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game 2 years ago. And I hadn't seen a trough in quite some time. They had a trough. I don't think Major League Baseball stadiums have troughs anymore.
Maybe not. That's probably true. That's going to wrap up What's the Word in not a moment too soon. We'll be back with one final segment, then we'll sign off and we'll leave you with Scott Hardy. More to come right after this.
Purchasing a new home is easier than you think, and America's Home Place can show you the way. For over 41 years, we've built thousands of homes for people just like you. We guide you through the entire process from purchasing a lot, finding financial options, to putting the finishing touches on your beautiful new house. Come tour our showroom and see over 100 customizable floor plans. Visit us online at americashomeplace.com/TV for a free floor plan book. America's Home Place. We make building easy.
If you're looking for a great location to hold your summer football or band camp, Lima Ward Military Academy is the place for you. Our 300-acre campus is located conveniently off Highway 280. We have dorm facilities to house 100 to 200 students, regulation fields with lights, practice fields, dining facilities, air-conditioned gymnasiums, indoor pool, and miles of running trails. Our secluded location will build cohesion within your organization and allow your kids to focus on the basics. If you have any questions, give us a call at 256-675-6396 or check out our website at lwma.org.
Hello, I'm Harvey B. Campbell Jr., the manager and founding partner of Alabama Consumer Law, LLC. We are a law firm dedicated to helping you, the consumer, from all kind of debt issues. We can handle Chapter 13s, Chapter 7s, and Chapter 12s, and Chapter 11s if you need help.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers. We are a debt relief agency. We are a private company. We are not associated with any state or federal government agency.
Your comfort is our #1 concern. Advanced Heat and Air.
Advanced Heating and Air makes your comfort their priority for any season. Advanced Heating and Air is the region's train dealer and an Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer that can save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Advanced Heating and Air maintains the region's best service team, so rely on us to make your comfort our #1 concern. Call 234-5052, and we're there for you.
Yamaha is beating the field in just about every category of motorsport products, offering unbelievable performance, handling, features, technology, and at prices that are blowing everyone's mind, especially the competition. Visit Twin City Yamaha on Stage Road in Auburn.
Hi, this is Scott Tway with Twin Cities Yamaha in Auburn. Isn't it about time to put some fun back in your life? Call us and see what we mean. 334-821-0439 or on the web at www.twincitiesyamaha.com.
Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance, you got to get to Gills. Selection and price, got to get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills. Cars that fit your budget. Service that no one around can beat. Stop by today and test drive the vehicle of your dreams. Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance you. Gotta get to Gills. Selection and price. Gotta get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Hyundai of Auburn. You owe it to yourself. Call Hyundai of Auburn today at 334-321-0777 and visit them online at HyundaiofAuburn.com.
All right, very quickly, we've got about 5 minutes here, and Luke and I will step aside. But more or less, the final game for this evening. More likely, Auburn baseball makes it into the World Series, or Alabama does not win another single SEC game. They have 9 remaining.
I'm going to say more likely Alabama doesn't win another game. I can't see how this team is going to win another
I'm on
game.
record as saying they will win at least one this week.
But
Thanks,
you're saying
guys.
that because you're an
Doing
Auburn
it
fan,
today.
and you've got to say that because you're scared you're going to jinx it. I mean, that's how this works. I get that. You have to say that. Just like I have to say there's no chance they're going to win this weekend. But I really believe there's no chance they win this weekend. Like, that is I believe there's no chance. I will say this. I think the losing streak gets up to 20, 21, 22. They might, if they have some other midweek game, they might win it.
Yeah.
But
well, it's just a streak of SEC games. They actually won a midweek game a couple weeks ago. But.
Okay. Well, whatever. It's bad. I've lost all interest.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's a tough finishing schedule too.
Look,
at Auburn, Florida, at Vandy.
I mean, good luck with that. What game do you think they're going to win?
I don't. They're not.
Yeah.
I mean, they're no good. That's just the bottom line. Less tolerable after 3 hours, Todd McShay or Mel Kiper?
I'm going to say Todd McShay because I think Todd McShay would lose interest in whoever he was talking to first. I think Mel Kiper could talk to anybody as long as he was the one talking. I think he could talk to anybody, and I could talk to him. You might think it's the other way around. I think Mel Kiper would sit there if I said, tell me about the 2009 NFL draft. Tell me about the 88 draft. Tell me about when you got into it with, I think it was Bill Polian. Talk about all that. And
how long have you been a werewolf?
I mean, talk about all this. And I think he would just sit there and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. He's got to have a photographic memory. I think Todd McShay would look around and go, I don't really need to be talking to you. I need to be doing something else.
More lethal one-man army, John J. Rambo or Colonel Matrix from Commando?
Oh, man. I'm going to go Colonel Matrix. That's a dark horse.
I think I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the body count.
Underdog.
Not sure. I think the body count was about the same.
Yeah.
But it's either Arnold or Sly. I mean, I guess you could go that way.
I loved him in Commando because I remember they kidnapped his daughter, right?
Alyssa
and
Milano.
I remember the guy said, cutting a little girl's throat is like cutting warm butter. And I said, you're going to get it, man.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah.
And that, of course, you remember when I told you I was going to kill you last?
Yeah.
I lied.
Yeah. That's a good line.
Less disappoint. Well, we can go 2 ways: 80s or iconic movie. Which would you like? Which would you prefer?
Let's go 80s.
Okay. Less disappointing remake: RoboCop or The Karate Kid?
Oh God, I can't believe. I mean, I didn't see either one of the remakes because I think both of them are just.
I saw RoboCop. I didn't even see
Karate Kid. It's more of a credit
Kid.
or a discredit to how uncreative Hollywood is right now. But I would have to say the less disappointing of the two would have to be the RoboCop. There's no way you take Jaden Smith, Will Smith's son, and make a Karate Kid movie that's not disappointing.
I agree. More overrated sports figure: Dale Earnhardt Jr. or Tony Romo?
Oh, I want to go Dale Earnhardt so badly here because everybody just loved him, and I don't like racing, but I've got to go Tony Romo. What has Tony Romo done to be so idolized? I mean, he married up, and he was pretty good. He was a good NFL quarterback. He's not a Hall of Famer. Dale Earnhardt is a Hall of Famer. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is a Hall of Famer.
Is he?
Going to be, if he's not already. I don't know how NASCAR Hall of Fame works. If they even have one. Yeah, they do have one. It's in Charlotte. But he's going to be in it, either already is or will be. Tony Romo should not ever be discussed for the NFL Hall of Fame.
Less congenial fan base: Red Sox fans or any soccer fans in general?
Oh, the soccer fans.
Yeah, they'll kill you. I mean, racial epithets aside, they will kill you.
Yeah, they will say horrible things. They want to fight. And then, I mean, really, you could say that about just American soccer fans who only care about European stuff because they get mad if you don't like soccer. And I think that, soccer fans are very sensitive for the most part, I think.
It's probably accurate. That's going to wrap up Sportz Blitz Live for this Tuesday evening. Thank you so much for joining us. He is Lou Robinson. I am Andy Graham. So long for now.
Start the new year in a new Honda at Sarah Honda of Sylacauga. Like a new Civic for just $172 a month during our first big sale of the year at Sarah Honda of Sylacauga on Highway 280.
Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. At Walls, you'll find a dedicated staff offering top quality service from routine maintenance to a full engine overhaul and everything in between. Brian Walls and the folks at Walls Tire are local folks that you know, and they provide the best service always at a fair price. Find out what the rest of the Lake Martin area already knows. Walls Tire is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. Just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Show Enough Barbecue. Since 1990, we've been serving you the finest barbecue in Alexander City. Gerald believes in cooking fresh meat daily, and the secret to that is, I'm not going to tell you. Show Enough is just not about barbecue, but also known for fresh vegetables and homemade pies. That's where I come in. I'm Linda Sanford, better known as the Pie Lady. We also do catering. For more information, give us a call at 234-7675.
When you're born, you're really young. You're like 0 years old. My grandma tells me to quit growing up so fast. But what can I do about it? My mom keeps throwing me birthday parties.
Russell Medical, comprehensive care in your corner of the world.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
Hey, it's Steve from the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn, and after 10 years of serving the good people of East Alabama and West Georgia, we're still doing business the same way, offering the best products at the best prices with the area's best warranties and installing them with the area's best technicians. With great customer service, a knowledgeable sales staff, and our commitment to customer satisfaction, along with the best selection of the latest technology in the industry, there's no reason to shop anywhere else. Shop with confidence. Shop at the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn.
Get out and go in a new Altima, just $18,988. During the Nissan Now sales event, a new 2017 Altima is just $18,988 at Sarah Nissan of Sylacauga.
Thanks, guys. I'm joined here today by Cole Grogan, senior forward for the Sylacauga Aggies and the new scoring leader for the state of Alabama. Cole, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Proud to be here.
Absolutely. Well, before we dive into the record that you set and some of your accolades through your playing career, obviously you're in the midst of your senior season playing for the Aggies. Can you talk a little bit about what it's been like to be a senior leader for that team so far?
It's been great. The transfer was smooth, and it wasn't too hard. I was accepted pretty easily, but both programs it helped me. But I'm glad that Coach Zedeker could help me and with this record.
And you talk about that, a little background. Obviously, you spent a lot of your playing time here in Alexander City for the Wildcats, but senior season making that transition to the Aggies. And you talk about that. What was it like to be on the opposite side of the rivalry? Obviously, we didn't get the opportunity to play each other this year, but playing for a team that was your rival for such a long period of time.
It's different. They've been rivals for 4 or 5 years since I played on varsity, and Coach Zedeker always had a plan to stop me, and now he's trying to get me to score. You know, it's different, and but I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, and so obviously you bring up scoring, and so we'll give the people at home a little background on your success as a soccer player here in the state of Alabama. On the season so far, you have 38 goals and 18 assists. State leader in assists, 3 of the top 7 single-season goal totals in state history, and you're 3 goals away from breaking the season total of 40. Nationally, your 166 career goals ranks 12th and 137 assists ranks second nationally. Those are some powerful, powerful numbers, especially coming from a state like Alabama, where soccer may not be as accepted or widely known as some other states. Can you talk a little bit about that, what it's been like to do it, not only from a small town like Alex City and Sylacauga, but from the state of Alabama as well?
It wasn't easy, and I didn't do it by myself. From all the players at Ben Russell that helped me, it was not easy. All I can do is thank everybody that helped me on the journey.
Absolutely. And so we were talking a little bit before the interview about, you're the state leader in assists. So obviously you're state leader in assists and now the state leader as well on the scoring end. Which side do you prefer the most? Obviously everybody wants to score, but I've seen you with your throw-ins and as well as just your nifty foot moves and your footwork. So what has that been like? On which side do you prefer the most?
I really don't think it matters on my opinion, but scoring is everybody's favorite, I reckon. But whatever helps your team win, that's what you need to do.
What would you say has aided the most in your ability to score? Obviously, you've been a football and a football player as well. So, do you think that both sports helped you along the way?
I think football helped me with staying dedicated and being prepared, and I think that's what helped me a lot in getting the scholarship is football and playing for Coach Horn and Coach Griff at Sylacauga. It really helped me get over that hump to get that scholarship.
So again, we're here with Cole Grogan, Sylacauga Aggie forward, who again is the state leader for goals scored in the state of Alabama. And so we've had the opportunity to see you grow up throughout the years, and obviously we're extremely proud of you, and we're mostly proud not only for the record that you set, but the ability, as you said, to go into the next level and continue your soccer career. And you'll be going to Kentucky to play at Union College. So can you give us a little background on how that came about and how ultimately you chose to go to Union?
It's funny. I emailed Coach Brock, and the reason I did it was because Carter Jones. That's a funny story. I emailed him. I told him I wanted to come up there and visit, and he said he welcomed me. He was like, "Of course you can." And we went up there, and when I got there, it just kind of felt like home. All the players were there, all the coaches were there. Hey, we went in to eat, and it just made us feel like home, me and my dad. And I think that's where we need to be for my next 4 years.
I got you. So with the success of your personal goals throughout the season for the Aggies, that has allowed you guys to get ready for a big playoff push over the next week or so, and so hopefully you guys will be able to make a big push. But what are your thoughts heading into the playoff run, and what do you think you need to do as a team and obviously personally for you guys to achieve that state championship?
I mean, obviously there's one goal. Either you go home crying or you come home happy. And maybe this is my senior year. It's my last year playing high school soccer, and it would be a great honor for all the hard work that's been about to finally come off and pay off for me.
Gotcha. And so again, obviously you're such a great scorer, and you can see that nationally soccer is starting to become more of a popular sport. But I wanted to ask you, what do you think could be done differently to possibly promote soccer in a better way, and who would you say was maybe an idol of yours, or who's a current player now that you look to for some different skills?
I've been asked that in a couple of interviews. I really don't have a favorite player, but I do look up to my dad. He's helped me a lot, and it's a great honor. But I really don't look up to anybody besides my dad. Because he's helped me all this time. But no soccer player that plays in bigger leagues I've looked up to.
Gotcha. And obviously Nick Grogan, and someone who we've seen on the sidelines in the stands for your playing career. And again, we're just extremely excited for this opportunity for you, and the opportunity to get to play at the next level, but also the recognition on the state level. And as you say, you're 3 goals away from reaching the single season goal total. So hopefully during this playoff stretch, you'll be able to accomplish that. But again, Cole, congratulations on the great honor. And again, from a personal standpoint, I've had the opportunity to get to see you rise from middle school to now your senior season. So I'm looking forward to catching up with you on the next level as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, this has been another Sportz Blitz Live local look in. Back to you.
Now there's no excuse. Drive a new Hyundai today. Trade and drive this 17 Elantra today, just $49 a month. Trade and drive this 17 Sonata, $99 a month. Or trade and drive this 17 Santa Fe Sport, just $139 per month. At Hyundai of Auburn, deluxe safety, comfort and economy features, no extra charge, and locally built. Lease, finance, and credit options for you. We want your trade, even if you deal someplace else. But why would you? Trade and drive today at Hyundai of Auburn for $49 a month.
Auburn Opelika has that perfect something for you. From sophisticated chic boutiques to exceptional dining, there's a retailer or restaurant to make your next visit special. Whether it's elegant fine dining or freshly squeezed lemonade, you'll find the perfect fit for every taste and budget. The food's great and the shopping is too, so be sure to check out the wide array of gifts, decor, clothing, and more. For every occasion, Auburn Opelika has what you're looking for. Let's make your next trip memorable. Visit Auburn Opelika.
When you need plumbing service, call on the professionals at A&M Plumbing LLC. For over 20 years, our mission has been to provide the best possible service available in the industry, and we specialize in solving difficult problems. We offer a wide range of services, such as installation, service, repair and replacement of common fixtures, water heaters, toilets, faucets, drains, sewer lines, and septic tank pumping and cleaning services. Unlike many companies, our septic tank services include field line testing. Our knowledgeable staff will be happy to answer any of your questions, so call A&M Plumbing LLC today.
Jackson Refrigeration is Central East Alabama's Alabama Power superior solutions dealer. With rapid response time and on-budget pricing, we're Central East Alabama's and the area's authorized Goodman heating and air dealer. We make your peace of mind easy and give you peace of mind when it comes to your heating and air needs. As a superior solutions dealer, Jackson Refrigeration can help save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Jackson Refrigeration works on all existing brands and units and has the team to solve your heating and cooling needs, no matter the season.
What value would you gain working with Lee Marketing Group? With 4 divisions under one umbrella, Sign Source, Lee Apparel, R&B Media, and LMG Baker Advertising Agency, Lee Marketing Group offers a comprehensive approach. From logo design and branding to ad placement and everything in between, LMG can handle it all.